Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm still in here, working on the dialing in the tone, and a friend of the channel, Kay Mays, who I really appreciate, came on and gave me some advice. You can go back to the video that was made about getting tone and see what he was offering up. But there was a thing called the Magic 6, which is really cool for those that have a full tone stack, which is, treble, bass, and middle. I don't have the mid-range one, I just have volume, treble, and bass. So it's a little different from me, but it gave me some ideas on like Fender settings that sort of create like the magical tone that you're looking for or whatever. And for them it was, I think the volume was at 6, and then there was, I think bass was at 7. Treble was at 7, bass was at 2 or something like that. I forget, or 4. I can't remember. I forgot. But I'll put the PDF up for those that have amps that have a full tone stack, so you can play around with that. But what I ended up doing was just trying to rethink it a little bit. I had my screwdrivers out. I'm always messing around with pickup height on Strats or on any guitar, but really on Strats, because you can do the bass side more or less if you want thicker. If you're not getting enough bass response. If you want to, usually you drop this side a little bit and pick up the treble side so that you get the same amount of sustain on the thinner strings as you do these thicker wound strings. But it always depends on the guitar, the fretboard, the material of the wood, what kind of pickups you're using. That's the biggest thing. The amplifier, those are probably the biggest components of the actual tone that you hear. So there's lots of adjustments that can be made. So what I did is, right now I'm playing in the neck pickup for this tune just because I want a kind of clean, like open sounding chord tone. So let me just show you what I'm talking about, this kind of sound. Yet dirty, clean, so it's like a dirty, clean, glassy, kind of sparkling tone. Now, that's not what I would use for what I'll be using for single notes. It'll either be middle or bridge, but for this, so like especially the outro bit, like it's all chords ascending, so watch. Tone. It sounds a little hot, like a little on the high end, but once you record it, you lose some of that top end. And I have switched microphones from the large diaphragm condenser, the AKG P220, to the fathead ribbon mic, which does not allow you to use phantom power, but I am running it through the rain, and that gives you like a little warmer, more euphonic presentation, whereas the large diaphragm gives you more of a clinical, kind of neutral and more detailed presentation. So I think that's the right combination, is a mic that's going to thicken it up just a bit, and you're going to lose some top end, so you put a little more top end out there, when you're actually recording it, and that would be a good live tone too, because it'd cut through. But I find this fascinating because there really is a lot to shaping the tone of an amp like this. And I'm getting my 18-watt back, and it's going to be fascinating because I've also tried connecting this to my 4x12, which is filled with Celestion speakers, 2 of them being Alnico Blues and 2 of them being G12H30s, which are a combination of a creamback and a greenback, I believe, into one speaker, that G12H30. That's the one Hendrix had in his Marshall stacks. And I like it a lot. It's very direct and powerful. It barks. And then the Alnico has this sort of soft fuzz that when you combine them, you get the best of both worlds. So I dig that. But for some reason, I don't dig Celestion speakers as much as the American equivalents, like the Oxfords, the Utahs, the CTSs, and the Jensens, over Celestians. For whatever reason, I don't know why. It just sounds too right, you know. Whereas you get a little bit more, I don't know, like a more natural kind of breakup. Whereas the Celestian stays more composed. If you wanted more clean, like overall just clean tone and more power, you know, the Celestian would be a good choice. You could put a G12H30 in here. You could put a blue in here. You could put a greenback, a creamback, whatever. Or just run out into a big cabinet like this. You can always do that. And it gives it a little bit of a Marshall vibe. It definitely gave it like a Hendrix tone. And it's bigger, but you lose that sweet breakup, like where it just sort of sits on that edge of that breakup. I felt like it lost that. So I felt like it had a more direct, like just more gorgeous tone coming directly from the old Oxford speaker in there, the original speaker. Which is a ceramic speaker as opposed to Alnico. And I like the ceramic because it just keeps the tightness a little bit. I have a P12, Jensen P12Q Alnico speaker that I use in this as well. But I just find this one is just a little bit better, just a little more definition, a little more clean delivery. Whereas the Alnico has a more like kind of, I don't know, maybe a tweed tone to it more than the blackface tone. I think this is the right speaker for this amp. All right, so now I've been practicing this a bit, and it always takes me a minute to get comfortable with the song, you know, like the having to play along to it and everything. So I'm going to tune up, and we'll just see what happens, how well I do tonight as far as getting a take goes. There's been a lot of temperature fluctuation, and I've been playing around with this guitar all day, which has caused it to, you know, sort of react. And so it's still kind of reacting to some of the stuff I've done. It's probably not the best data track, and I may not get the take. If I start to struggle, I will reconvene here tomorrow. But I'm happy that I got the tone that I wanted, chose the pickup that I wanted to use, and I've gotten through the song once without, you know, I understand the arrangement at least, so hopefully it won't be a night of like one mistake after another. All right, so here we go. I'm going to turn down the drums a tad. I noticed they were really hot in my okay, 2, 3. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. You check tuning one more time. Actually, I'm going to check the tuning through here as opposed to that tuner there. And I don't want to just rush through it, so we'll see what happens tonight. I hope I don't disappoint and not get a take and waste your watching time. But hopefully it inspires you to, you know, work on your stuff too. That's kind of the point. All right, so I hope. All right, here we go. Rhythm going there, but I do dig what happened. I'm going to turn the drums back up a little bit. It just starts feeling like I'm not in the groove, like I'm not inside of it. I'm like outside of it, or sort of, you know, not completely integrated in. around too much, you know, like thinking about it too much. Okay. I can tell this is going to take a minute. Hopefully I don't waste your time tonight, because I can tell there's little nuances I wasn't expecting. My fingernails, they're a little long for chords, and that C sounds out of tune. So let's go back and see what we can do with that. Okay, try it. Undo. I think I just got to get into it and stop thinking, you know, just like really commit to just playing it and not trying to make every moment perfect. Stiff and tight. I don't think I'm gonna get it tonight. Just need to rock it, you know, like all night long. That little transition is tricky. None of this is hard. It's just I want it to be, you know, great, not just somebody playing crap chords. That was getting closer, much closer, much closer. Okay, I've definitely got my work cut out for me, so I'm going to duck out here and just keep practicing this, take this all home tonight, and really dig in. The rhythm pattern has got to be right, you know, or it's just sounds like a mess. It has the potential to be really cool, or and like something interesting, or like most songs, that's always true, but in this one it's particularly true. If I don't get that rhythm pattern right, that's like the whole tune, and I want it to sound powerful and in sync with the tune and give you that feeling, not just some erratic thrashing about. All right, I'm gonna work on this, try to get this really good. I am happy with this tone. I hope that you are too. Hopefully K Mays approves. I think so. It's a nice sort of dirty clean. It sounds like this baby did a little better. This one's fun to play and I love it so much, but the tone is not quite up to this level. Mainly I think the stability of the neck, this body. I don't know if this was plywood or like poplar or whatever this kind of like cheap wood is. But it has a real resonant quality. It's what got me into Strats, and I just sort of followed my pickup height on this one, brought that neck down a little bit just to get a little less potential for Stratitis. I was a little worried, had that neck pickup too high, and I was getting that Stratitis condition where you get some magnetic waver and the whole guitar just sounds sort of smeared and weird. So, sorry I don't have a take. All of you out there that are watching, hoping to keep yourself moving on your takes too, it's not always a success. You just have to continue to work. And what I found out now, I just had this tone thing in my head all weekend, and I've been really trying to get that right, so that I'm excited about the record later. I've begun going back and listening to the songs that I recorded before I really got my act together with this guitar. And I kind of want to re-record some of the guitars and stuff, and now that I'm into the deluxe so majorly. But I can't wait to get the 18-watt back because I want to see what that's like. That's going to get me back into the Marshall tone, for all my Hendrix obsessing and copying his guitar parts. So, next time.